Jerry, I'd like to love you. Jerry, will you love me too? Someday I will take you away.
Touch yourself.
That's all I want to do.
Good morning.
I love you forever, Jerry.
It is the Drake Toll
Will
Show.
you love me too?
Mostly the Addie Bates Show. But with a sprinkle or a hint of Drake Toll every now and then. Drake Toll with you from the Savannah Bananas organization, locked on Big 12. I got a text this weekend from, okay, song's over. No more. Don't get to listen anymore. Song's done. I got a text this weekend from, can I tell you something that I'm not proud of, please?
Yeah. What's wrong with
so many things that I can start with. So this weekend I get a text from a number that I don't have saved, and it says, I'm going to read the text for you. Be on the lookout for the Sandlot catch at some point this game. I thought, why is this random number texting me that from South Carolina? What does that even mean? The Sandlot catch at some point this game. I disregard for probably a half hour as I'm tinkering around with my things. This is during my Saturday or Sunday, and actually go in and look at my phone. It's Jackie Bradley Jr.
You didn't save his number?
I don't save any numbers. I don't save any numbers, ever.
How do you know when I text you?
I don't. I also don't know when you call me.
Are you being serious? My number's not saved?
When I learned your number, of course your number is saved.
Oh.
Those most, you have to earn that rapport. And
Jackie Bradley Jr., you haven't earned it.
Curtis's number will be saved at some point in our lives. Good morning, Curtis. I just don't. Yeah, I will ask someone 15 times for another person's number before I actually save their contact. That is a bad thing that I do. But look, I hope that everybody, good morning, the Drake Toll Show, Westwood One Sports. I hope everyone had just like the weekend of all time. This is the last weekend where you can breathe, because going into next weekend, conference tournament season, teams making, which I guess it kind of is conference tournament season, but I'm straight. I know Kevin Harlan did. I did not watch the Arch Madness OVC championship. I know.
Oh my goodness, Valpo did really well, but you know what? The other the more important Arch Madness was happening in Washington D.C.
Okay,
that's what the people are saying. That's what the people are saying. The more important Arch Madness.
Hit like 7 of those, Curtis. Like just that. Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Touch yourself.
Wow. Arch Manning was in D.C. this weekend?
No, I wish.
Okay,
I wish.
Great. This was the last weekend before all hell breaks loose and we go to March Madness. Josh Graham will join the show to talk about that, about what is about to befall us in college basketball. And that was that. Look, this is just a good sports weekend to remember. Okay. Whew. There is peace in oxygen. By the way, did you know the Fairfield women's basketball team is really good at basketball?
Did not know that.
Yeah, man.
Take your word for it.
27-4, 19-1 in the MAAC. The Mac. Fairfield beats Merrimack 65-48 to go to March Madness on the women's side. I still can't get over. You know what? It's time for our obituary. The Iowa women's basketball program dead today. This was dumbfounding. So I was flying on Sunday, which was yesterday. But the way that it worked, I had a banana ball game. It started at 1 p.m. in Memphis. Put on my blue suede shoes. By the way, Memphis food, good. I'm back. I'm in. I'm 100% there. I had Moe's for lunch on Saturday. It gets catered to the
and then you
ballpark.
had Italian. You didn't even have dry rub ribs. I'm not even making that up.
Yeah,
don't know.
no.
Oh my gosh.
We only got one restaurant stop, and everybody else did one of one or two barbecue joints. I did a fancy Italian place, and it was
What?
really good.
Who goes to Memphis and doesn't go to Rendezvous? It's not even that it's a touristy thing.
I think it might be a touristy thing now because
Drake
the
told-
locals told us don't go to Rendezvous,
Drake
go to this
told-
other place.
Yeah, they told you to go to an Italian restaurant. Drake told. Like,
Yeah.
I know you love food, but trust me, like
Correct.
I have a Mexican dad, a mom from New Orleans who are both cooks. Like, I love cooking. Like, I promise you, food is like what we like. So we specialize in it. Come on now. And you didn't even trust me. Rendezvous is amazing.
I didn't trust you.
No,
I
yeah, so-
did until the team president of the Memphis Redbirds said go to Catherine and Mary's. I said okay. I did.
Yeah.
It's not a trust thing. I still trust you. I just don't want to spend a lot of money for barbecue that's not in Texas. I almost refuse to eat barbecue. Now that you live in Texas for
yes, I'm
your
born
life.
and raised in Texas,
Correct.
but like every southern state, they all do something different. Texas is known for brisket. Memphis is known for its dry rub ribs.
Yeah, Texas is less rib. The dry rub is good. I had some dry rub grilled chicken thighs. So I don't know what I had actually on Sunday when they catered that. It's all a blur. And then I got on a flight, and I'm on my flight yesterday catching the tail end of UCLA and Iowa. Listen to this. UCLA women's basketball gets up on Iowa 22-5. Start the game. Going into the second quarter, it's 22-5. Going into halftime, it's 42-20. This is the number 2 team in the country playing the number 9 team in America in the Big Ten championship. Oh, in the third quarter, Iowa was outscored 25-16, and in the fourth quarter, which I caught from the confines of my plane, 96-45 is your final score because the fourth quarter, 29-9, UCLA over Iowa. No remorse. They were up 30 going into the final quarter and won the game by 51. 96-45 UCLA. Congratulations on winning the Big Ten tournament. Iowa, you are obituaried today. Dong. Texas over South Carolina, 78-61. West Virginia upsetting TCU. Duke, Louisville in overtime. Really fun weekend in women's basketball outside of that UCLA-Iowa game. Also dead today are obituaries. Anyone? Nope, the obituaries are alive.
Darn.
Obituaries are alive. They're not dying. Also dead today. Anyone who thinks Michigan State is Michigan's little brother. Here's what Tom Izzo had to say after his team. Did you just sneeze?
You didn't know. I'm getting sick. Yesterday I was sick, and this morning I've been sick.
You stay sick, dog. Drink a vitamin C or something.
Sorry, I had to host the show. Sorry, I didn't know my mic was up.
Here's what Tom Izzo had to say about being a little brother to Michigan.
Guess the crowd didn't watch the game because I'm nobody's damn little brother. Neither is my team. I'm really proud of my team, how they played and what they did. I give Michigan a lot of credit. They shot the daylights out of it, especially Axel. They shot 40-some% from the three, and they took 100 free throws. That was the difference in the game. We made some boneheaded plays where we didn't step up on ball screens, let them get downhill. And we made some uncharacteristic fouling a guy and things like that. But it was a hell of a basketball game to watch. And I ain't taking a backseat to nobody. I don't care what they've done and what they've done. They deserve what they got. 29-2 and deserve every bit of it. But we deserve what we got, and we will get better because I'm going to make some of those same ball screen mistakes.
That's an old ball coach. I don't know how we let him get away with it. How we let Tom Izzo exist in the confines of our sport. Well, that's an old ball coach. They still walk among us. Tom Izzo laying down the law, saying we're not your little brother, and you're obituary today if you think that Tom Izzo's team's little brother in Michigan, even though they keep losing to Michigan, who's the best team maybe in college basketball, right there with Duke. Those are our obituaries today. By the way, Fairfield, who I mentioned earlier, they still play Quinnipiac today in the MAC final. So glue your eyes to that one. And glue your eyes to this, folks. It's the Quickie. Top 5 headlines in all of sports. I have a minute to respond to each of them. Addie Bates of the Drake Toll Show and or Addie Bates Show. Continue.
Before we start with this, I'm a
Okay.
little sad. I'm a little sad because we started the YouTube a little late. Technical difficulties, of course. And so Drunkle's not there. Daily, Pine, RMOM.
You're missing our YouTube friends right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's been a sad morning now. It started off great. They're not there. So hurry up. Get y'all's ass in the YouTube, please. Please.
Yeah.
What?
Okay.
What? You don't interact with our...
No, I do. I also love them. I agree. Surely they will come.
Drake seat chat, of course they will.
The Drake Steve chat. All right. Here is your first headline. West Virginia beats TCU to win women's Big 12 tournament title.
The ball is tipped. There you are. You're running from your life. You're a shooting star. 2 losses this year for TCU, by the way, against 2 losses for West Virginia, I should say, against TCU. So you avenged that in this contest. West Virginia is a weird case study. They lost at TCU 59-50. They just got hot toward the end of the year. The Big 12 in general is a weird case study. West Virginia lost to Utah. They lost at home to TCU, lost to Texas Tech. They lost to Villanova, 81-59 earlier in the year. Can they contend? Absolutely not. Can literally anyone in the Big 10 contend? The Big 12 contend? Absolutely not. TCU, West Virginia, Baylor, Texas Tech. It did not matter who won the game on Sunday in the Big 12. None of those schools can compete, or none of them are on the remote same playing field as as UCLA, Iowa, Texas, South Carolina, West Virginia. Congratulations on it. I don't want to dilute your conference tournament win. You beat TCU, you avenged your losses, and you're going to March Madness. You're going to host in March Madness. That's cool. But this does nothing on the bearing of what's actually going to happen in this tournament. Thank you.
Next headline. Fill in the blank. Wanted to trade for Maxx Crosby. The Buffalo Bills, the Bengals, the Cowboys. They all wanted to trade for Maxx Crosby, according to insider reports.
I have been into gardening recently. Spring is coming around. Green thumb. Although winter doesn't officially end until March 22nd or something. I have been into gardening. I requested a trade for Maxx Crosby, knowing that I too wanted to trade for him, get him out to the house, have him around. I'd pay him royally. We'd hang out together. We'd have a few beers. We'd talk about politics. And then he would help me with my gardening. So I too was in the mix for the Maxx Crosby sweepstakes. And as our resident Dallas Cowboys fan, if they wanted Maxx Crosby, they should have gotten Maxx Crosby. Instead, the Baltimore Ravens, whose head coach is exactly the world. No one knows. They can hard reset for Baltimore. Now they have Maxx Crosby. Congrats. You win Maxx Crosby.
Here's your next headline. Texas routs South Carolina for first women's SEC title.
Yeah. You didn't want to talk about Jesse Minter, the head coach of the Ravens. We didn't want to have a Jesse Minter conference. I don't know if we did a single segment because of the way it fell. That was one of those days Jesse Minter got hired by the Ravens.
We had Tim Barbalace on.
Yeah, I think 7 other things happened. We did have Tim Barbalace, but I don't think there was a single individual segment because there were a million things happening. The Super Bowl was coming up. There were so many things we had to get to. There was just no one here's ever heard of Jesse Minter. Move along. Something Texas, South Carolina. Yeah, man. Texas dominated this from the jump. 27-12 was their lead after the first quarter. Don Staley, South Carolina. If anybody in the country not named UConn or UCLA can win the national championship in women's basketball, it will be Texas. They have as many AP top 10, top 20 wins as you can draw up, including LSU, Oklahoma, Kentucky, even Georgia, Alabama, Ole Miss, South Carolina in the last couple of weeks have been super impressive. And they beat UCLA by double digits. Texas, they could win it all. You're welcome.
Yeah, they can. Hook 'em. Trent McDuffie, Rams reach 4-year, $124 million extension.
I mean, I would love a 4-year, $120 million extension. How do you get one of those?
You have to be there from 6 to 9 a.m. Eastern.
Good at football here? Yeah, I'll take that up with Delta Airlines or American or Allegiant, whatever I was on this morning. Yeah, is that the price tag you're paying? 4 years for a corner? $100 million guaranteed? The highest paid corner in NFL history now? So, again, that's my question. Is this what you're willing to pay? Is this the price you're willing to pay for a corner? Because no one else in the history of the league has been willing to do that. And you are for the number 29 overall pick. That is, yeah, that's fine. Do it if you want to.
Biggest headline from this weekend, Patrick Dombrowski wins the Go Bowling USA Open for first career title.
Did you want to bring this up because it says word bowling?
Yeah, it was the U.S. Open. I watched it. It was amazing.
Hold on, what sport are we talking about here?
Bowling? Yeah.
Okay. I when you say go bowling, it makes me think that this is the name of an event.
Yeah, it's sponsored by Go Bowling.
Okay, so it is the name of an event.
Yeah.
You also made it sound a little bit like golf.
It is the U.S. Open.
So it has nothing to do with bowling.
It is. It's sponsored by Go Bowling. It's the Go Bowling U.S. Open. It's the U.S. Open for bowling.
That's where I got confused.
Okay. And the way he won it, by the way, was that Anthony Simonson had to strike in the final frame, like his last ball, the fill ball, in order to tie it, and he left the pocket 7-10. Big split.
Hold on. Is this golf or bowling?
Bowling! What term is strike in golf?
I know. That's why I still thought we were on golf. For the first 40 seconds of this headline.
We
never did golf?
No.
Something about it. I was like, oh, she's bringing up golf now. Okay, sponsored by Go Bowling. Yes, Addie, congratulations to the bowling community.
Or the golf community.
Or those who love Pokemon and wear a tail. AKA the bowling community.
No. Do I look like I like Pokemon and wear a tail?
I'm not going to answer that for HR purposes.
Oh, okay. All right.
But people can follow you on Instagram.
No, they cannot.
To see your tail.
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
Whoa! No. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. Addie Bates produces. That is the Quickie Top 5 headlines of all of sports, and I responded to them. NIL! Should we just do away with NIL? Dick Vitale slammed Kentucky. He slammed the current state of college basketball, saying we've got to fix this. But is it really an issue? Nah, not like we think it is. This is the Drake Toll Show. Yeah.
Freaks me out, and if I need a breather I can hit the parkway. Be home before the bars all close, drink away the lies she told, think about the days. She was a pure-eyed child, a rodeo queen, high school lover in a badass Jeep, far from the eyes of a watchful town. Mama didn't need to know. Good corn liquor to shake this cold, and good heart loving on a gravel road. Juliet, won't you crawl outside your window and dance in the arms of your redneck Romeo? push came down to shove, I'd be a bandit for her love. Shoot sharp and walk away. She was good before she changed her name, and I bet that ain't all that's changed. Goddamn, I remember the night. I was a young punk kid from a dried up town, Cold Car County full of hunting hounds. She was the one who kept those boys at bay. Her high heels and my red wing boots, cutting couches in the living room. Juliet, won't you crawl outside your window and dance in the arms of your redneck Romeo? I can't win for all this losing, I can't see for all this boozing. But by God, I can keep it together. Just to hold my baby close, get her moving down a county road, make up for lost time. She was a few-eyed child of a rodeo queen. She ran on sex and gasoline, far more money than a boy like me could hold. She went off to paint the town, and I'm stuck holding these mountains down. Juliet, won't you crawl outside your window and dance in the arms of your redneck Romeo? Won't you crawl outside your window and dance in the arms of your redneck Romeo?
That's a beautiful song, Curtis. I'm glad you chose that one. I was actually hoping for Electric Zoo, but thank you, Curtis. I was hoping every segment would just be Electric Zoo.
Good morning, Curtis. Thank you. Did he play Electric Zoo earlier?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Boop, 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 boop,
Thought
boop.
you were listening.
No way. This is the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Good morning to the cut. Oh. Good morning to your next door neighbor. Josh Graham will join us momentarily. In the meantime, what do you say Dig Vitale joins us in spirit? He's alive. Very, very alive. But quasi-spirit. Because this weekend, during an ESPN college basketball broadcast, ESPN's Dick Vitale decided to go off on the University of Kentucky, Mark Pope, the basketball program, and the way NIL is being handled in Lexington. And honestly, the way NIL is being handled all across college basketball. Here's Dickie V.
Coach's dream, have an 8-man rotation. Florida has found that 8-man rotation. And Isaiah Brown has really provided them with muscle off the bench, let alone what he does physically and shooting-wise on and off the court defensively.
I'm going to say this right here. Win or lose, I've done several now Kentucky games. Win or lose, $22 million this team of reports are in terms of the NIL for their players. I think at $22 million, they could have put together a better roster than they did. I really do.
Condon, a little flip up there. And
if you are building a roster that costs that much, maybe you should be good. Maybe you can't be a little wuss.
Strong words from Dick Vitale. Wow. I'll tell you what, I did not. I tried to listen to the audio before the show, but I wasn't able to get to that due to my flight situation that landed this morning at 6:12 a.m. in the Savannah International Airport. But man, look, part of this is if we pay you, you probably shouldn't suck. And if we're going to pay you $22 million, I'm gonna push back a bit here on what Dick Vitale is saying. That for $22 million, you should be able to buy a better roster. You know, Kansas State spent maybe the most of any college basketball team on its group of 13 guys. Kentucky is up there for sure. But Dick, dog, I think you're learning this in college football. If you're watching any college sports, if you are spending money, someone else is also spending money. Penn State was bad enough they had to fire their coach this season in college football. Clemson, terrible. They didn't look good at all. Florida State, terrible. LSU, terrible. These schools that are firing their coaches are on the verge of doing it. They're making a lot of money. They're making a lot of money. They're giving out a lot of money in NIL. College basketball has created this gap between the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, that kind of upper echelon top tier of teams, and then everybody else. The gap between a 3 seed this year in March Madness and a 1 seed is massive. It's usually what you find between a 1 seed and a 6 seed. An example would be this year, your 1 seed is Duke. And right now, they are unequivocally better than the 3 seed, maybe 2 seed Nebraska. That's the society that we live in. Is Duke would beat the 2 or 3 seed Nebraska by 17 points. That's the nature of the beast in college basketball. Whereas 5 years ago, 7 years ago, Ohio State and Florida would play. One of them's the 2 seed, one of them's the 3 seed, one of them's the 1 seed, one of them's the 4 seed. And it would be a fun basketball game. We'd go into March Madness and we'd see a fun basketball game between two teams. Chris Chio is a buzzer beater between 2 teams at the top of the sport. We're not getting that anymore. And I don't think it's to any fault of Kentucky here. I'm going to push back on Dick Vitale a bit. I don't think it's to any fault of Kentucky because you pay $22 million. You pay $40 million in football, $50 million. That does not always equal wins. We love to say your favorite team is Indiana in college football. If your favorite team is Ohio State, if it's LSU, if it's Alabama, we love to come to the podium and say, oh, they're only good because they spent money. No! Everyone else is also spending money. I get being upset with the money that is spent, and I am a bit perturbed that the president of the United States of America on Friday could not solve all of college football's issues and instead said give players $25,000 a year. Won't they be happy? 10 years ago, yeah, that would have been a chunk. But now the toothpaste is out of the tube. And there is no way that Arch Manning can make $6 million. And then in 2 years, David Jones, the guy with the locker, David Jones makes $0 or $25,000. That can't happen. It won't happen. The days of college kids being poor, college basketball players, college football players being poor, is by and large over or should be over. But I don't have an issue necessarily with Kentucky that the roster should be better at $22 million because everybody else has $22 million. Everybody else is building a roster like that. And you know what? The teams that are winning, Indiana in football, Texas Tech in football, Oregon in football, they are predicated on culture. We're going to spend a lot of money, but we're going to find the right guy. We'll spend the cash, but we need to build the right team. We need to set ourselves up to win with culture fits. Fernando Mendoza can walk through the door and help us win as a good culture fit. Can Sam Levitt do that? I don't think so. Is Sam Levitt going to be the great creator, the great bridge between his new team? I don't think so. It's less to me about, you have all this money, your roster should be good, and more about, everyone has all of this money. They should all be good. And now the difference is who has the best culture, who compiled the roster that competes the best in the locker room. We have had people on this show. We've had coaches on this show who have been to the Final Four, who have played basketball, football, lacrosse at the highest level, and they all say the same thing. When it comes to the national semifinal, making that last four, the one thing you need that's different from anybody else around you, the one thing you need to get there to win those games is a locker room. Your locker room is where it starts. So if I understand where Dick Vitale's coming from here, that for $22 million, Kentucky should have gotten a better roster. Oh, and Mark Pope, by the way, had one of the worst finishes, genuinely worst finishes in Kentucky basketball history. They finished 9th in the SEC, bottom half of the SEC. That's happened 5 times in Kentucky's basketball existence. They finished on the back half of their conference. They are supposed to win, and they're supposed to win all the time. I don't think Mark Pope's going to do that. I don't think Mark Pope is the answer. But that point doesn't have a lot to do with $22 million. It has much more to do with the locker room. You can compile as good a team as you want. Last year, he's going to do it. I'm going to do it. Last year, Duke had Con Knipple and Cooper Flagg. You've heard of both of those names. They are number 1 and number 2 in Rookie of the Year voting in the NBA. In the Rookie of the Year race. They'll be number 1 and number 2 in voting. And you know what? They didn't win a national championship. They didn't make the national championship game. They lost to Houston. Why? Not that Houston. They all have $20 million rosters. They're all up there from the standpoint of pay for their roster. Now $22 million. 22 is a lot. I'm going to fact check this. But the difference, there has to be something, if everyone's paying, if the top 10, 15 programs are all paying comparable money, what makes you different? What sets you apart? And a lot of times, it is the locker room. Now, Seth Davis says, feels like we're headed for another 1-seed party at the Final Four. Jamie Vinnick retweets, quote tweets, says this is going to be closer to the norm going forward. The valley between the rich teams and everyone else is going to continue to grow. And anytime a mid-major identifies and finds a star, they'll be bought away. The days of Loyola, VCU, FAU, those runs are likely no more. I disagree. Because in college football, you're seeing Penn State lose to UCLA. Those are 2 teams that aren't in the same NIL stratosphere. And football has less parity than college basketball, especially in the March Madness format. 40 minutes of basketball. We got some hoopers out there. They get hot. And any team can win from the 11 seed spot, the 8 seed spot. Can they beat the number 1 overall team? Can they beat a 1 seed? No, they cannot. Loyola of old, VCU, FAU, they cannot beat Duke this year. They cannot beat Arizona this year. But they can still go to the Sweet 16. They can still go to the Elite Eight because we have fallible teams in college basketball. Oh, the money ruined it. I agree something has to change. I agree we have to put our foot down and control the money somehow. Because this thing has gotten out of control, out of hand. But the money ruined it. If you're really watching, my college basketball viewing experience is not ruined at all. I'm having a good time. Sponsored by Progressive Commercial Insurance. Protect small businesses with affordable coverage options. Quote today at progressivecommercial.com. Progressivecommercial.com. When we return, our very own Josh Graham. What? Bracketologist Josh Graham joins the Drake Toll Show to talk Duke, Carolina. He was in the house. 310-840-4910. 310-840-4910. This is the Drake Toll Show.
One of the offseason's biggest
This is the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Good morning. No more music. Cut the music. That's great. Curtis is getting. You're strict today, Kurt. What's going? Kurt, you all right? What's going on over there?
We only have 10 seconds on this music. That's why it cuts out so quick.
That's my fault for making it a 10-second bed.
Just need a longer one, yeah.
We just need a what? Good morning, Curtis. And good morning to Westwood One Sports Zone, Josh Graham. What a time to welcome him to the show. Josh is a bracketologist, college basketball analyst, and expert, and a man who was in the circle, if you will, this weekend. Duke, Carolina. And look, Josh, we'll start here because you were there, but this isn't a top 3 or even 5 story for me this week, given Carolina, shorthanded the rest of the year, by the way, had really no chance to beat Duke, and Duke made that known at Cameron Indoor this weekend.
It's true, especially when you consider how many great stories we had across college basketball this weekend. Maybe the game of the year with the Miami of Ohio going for an unbeaten season against their rivals in Athens, and it's tied at 100 at the end of regulation. And Dan Hurley not bumping the official, allegedly, before getting tossed, losing to a 11-19 Marquette team when you had a full week off and you had the Big East regular season title on the line. And your Big 12 circles, you got Wes Miller in Cincinnati with a big game on the road at TCU that TCU ended up winning with a lot of postseason ramifications. So sure, I understand that. The bigger takeaway from the game, though, Drake, it's not related to North Carolina's injuries. It's Duke that isn't expected to have Patrick Gamba this week, their center who didn't play Saturday. John Shire after the game saying that he'd be shocked if he plays. And Caleb Foster, their starting point guard, a junior, who went down with a foot injury. And it was one of those injuries, Drake, that in the building, you kind of felt this is bad. And there was a moment in the second half where he doesn't return in the first half and then comes to the bench on a boot. He's in a boot on his right foot. And John Shire walks over to him. I'm sitting just beyond the Duke bench. John Shire comes over to Foster, taps him on the shoulder, says something, and you could tell Caleb's kind of emotional about it. And then he hears someone right behind his left shoulder say something to him. He turns around to see who it is. It's Chris Paul in a brown hat, and he says something to him, daps him up, and you could see that Caleb Foster is just trying to hold it together. So I'm hoping that for the best, because Duke, they don't need him in the ACC tournament. They didn't need Cooper Flagg in the ACC tournament last year, the number 1 team in the country. But you do kind of need him when you get past the first game, the 16 game, to play an 8 or a 9 seed in the tournament. That's a big story for the number 1 team.
We've seen those schools that are either on or were formerly on that 3 or 4 line lose elite talent. JT Toppin, Richie Saunders, Caleb Wilson. Can we do an exercise here?
Please.
All right, Josh, I'm going to read you the statistical leaders in every major category for North Carolina. Points per game, Caleb Wilson. Rebounds would be Caleb Wilson. Assists, I'm going to go, he's right. It's Caleb Wilson. And steals and blocks and field goal. And it's Caleb Wilson. He's not going to play again this year. Does that take out what where does this team sit when we've seen BYU win big games without Richie Saunders? We've seen Texas Tech win without JT Toppin. Where does North Carolina sit the rest of this season as they battle major injury issues?
It's strange because they've been battling injury issues the entire year. In the non-conference season, it was Seth Trimble, who's their best guard. And then of late, it was Caleb Wilson. They've been without him for 4 weeks now. And going into, just because it's the same amount of games, going into Saturday night, North Carolina played 15 games this year without Seth Trimble and Caleb Wilson. They were 12-3 in those games. With Caleb Wilson and Seth Trimble, they were 12-3 as well. Now, you're a lot better when you have those guys than when you don't. And more specifically, Caleb Wilson, who I was just literally losing sleep over this, putting my votes in for the Sporting News All-America teams. And what to do with JT Toppin. First team versus second team because he missed 6 games.
Yeah.
With the injury at the end. What to do with Caleb Wilson. It's really difficult. And then I can only imagine factoring that in when you are one of the selection committee members, because it might be one of those deals with seeding. We're surprised, given where they're ranked in the top 25, that Texas Tech is given a 7 or an 8, and North Carolina is given a 7 or an 8 because they lose these guys, even though Texas Tech, big wins, as you know, without JT Toppin, and North Carolina beating Clemson, beating Louisville, beating tournament teams without Caleb Wilson as well. It's a really difficult question to answer, but one to follow when Selection Sunday arrives.
Yeah, that's what's tough is Clemson and Louisville obviously good, but not I wouldn't put them in the same stratosphere as some of the teams. Like Texas Tech has
I wouldn't either.
You know, they've won games against, and BYU too, against top 10 opponents without one of their best players in BYU's case, and then the best player on Texas Tech's roster in JT Toppin. Carolina, I would love to see them go win a road game against a tournament team. And I won't have that opportunity the rest of the year now. I will see them in the ACC tournament. I'd like to learn a thing or two about a team that, yes, has won at home against good competition. Can they beat elite competition without their best player? That's still a question that I have going into March Madness. And when I say elite, Josh, I just made this point probably 20 minutes ago, and I want to give it to you. The 1 seed, and I think we may have talked about this before, the 1 seed in this year's tournament, let's say Duke, is the gap between Duke and Nebraska is so much larger. That's a 1 seed and possibly a 2 seed. That's so much larger of a gap that I remember 5 years ago, 10 years ago, between a 1 and a 2 seed. That feels like the gap between a 1 and a 5 seed. But if those two played neutral site tomorrow, I think Duke wins that game by 14, 12. I really do, after watching both those teams play, even just this weekend. Am I off base to say that because of NIL in the portal, that the 1 seeds have gotten so much more elite than even the 2, 3, 4 spots?
Do you feel this is different than last year, though? Can we start there?
No, it's not that different. I do think more mid-majors will make the Sweet 16. We'll have more Cinderellas that win a couple of rounds in due to some injury issues on the 2, the 3, the 4 seed line. And things of that nature. However, this is very similar. It will be a 1 seed party again, if you ask me.
Let's look to see. I'm a planner. I'm all about let's look
well,
ahead.
You must really hate March Madness. That's like the last thing they call it madness for a reason.
Absolutely. 2 weeks. Let's plan sometime 2 weeks. Let's plan a date to get together, do this again, because I think that this year is going to be dramatically different than what we saw last year.
Okay.
I love Ken Pom. I think, look at these glasses. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Ken Pom has been around since 1999, and they've been ranking teams since then. And last year, the 4 number 1 seeds that made it to San Antonio, first time all 4 number 1s got there since 2007, they were ranked in the top 10 of Ken Pom's all-time rankings. Better than most national champions we've seen the last 26 years. And I see flaws in the teams at the top. Right now, Duke this week is going to be playing with 7 players in the ACC tournament without Gamba, without Caleb Foster. The format of the tournament is such, you have to win 6 in a row. So when you look at how good Michigan's been, we hear the expression guards win in March. And the reason that's the case is because, well, if your point guard has the ball all the time, he has a lot of responsibility. And thus, if he turns over the basketball a ton in one of those 6 games, guess what? Your season's over. Elliot Cadeau, his entire career, 2 years at North Carolina, and even this year, has been inconsistent with his performance. And they've been able to get away with it because of all the talent they've had up front. But winning 6 in a row and all the competition you play is good. That's something that should scare you, especially knowing that your backup point guard, LJ Kaysen, tore his ACL 2 weeks ago, and he's out. So that means more responsibility for Elliot Cadeau. And then UConn, we just mentioned them. All right, they're a team that you build in a lab as being a national title contender. You got guards, you got Dan Hurley, you got Terrace Reed in the post, and they just lost to a Big East team that isn't good. And the Big East, it turns out, isn't all that good. So I don't see this being as top heavy remotely as last year. And maybe it is the year that a Nebraska can go on a run. But it is worth noting that Nebraska is the only high major team in the country that has never won an NCAA tournament game ever. So Fred Hoiberg, no pressure.
Yeah, this could be the year unless they meet Northern Iowa in the first round, and then you're cooked. Good luck doing that, Nebraska. Josh Graham, before we get you out of here, this is a complete wild card, completely out of left field. The Georgia Southern Eagles in the Fun Belt. Listen to this, where the bracket's built so that the lowest seeded teams have to play their way through every team. Like if you're a 1 or 2 seed in the Sun Belt, you get a bye to the semifinal, and the team put in the 13 spot, the 12 spot, you're playing 5 games to try to win the Sun Belt tournament. That's what Georgia Southern has done. They have won 5 straight games to go to the tournament final against Troy tonight. Are we riding the Eagles on Monday, March 9th, the year of our Lord 2026?
No, Troy's going to win, but I am going to be rooting for Georgia Southern, which is sacrilege to say, Drake, in my parts, because today, as you see,
you're not
I'm
too far
wearing
from
a shirt,
Boone.
is today I give my all to Appalachian State. App State's greatest rival is Georgia Southern. They have a thing called Hate Week. When they play Georgia Southern, it's a problem. So I think I have to say that, actually. I have to say Georgia Southern's going to lose, but I can't say I'm rooting for them.
The Fun Belt's crazy. Awesome tournament. Josh Graham, incredibly grateful for your time waking up this early in the morning, and love listening to you on Westwood One.
Appreciate you.
That is Josh Graham. You can find also, he posted a social media video, and you need to find this, of behind the scenes at Duke, Carolina this week alongside our program director, Armin Williams. So cool. Find him at Josh Graham Show on Twitter, and find that video behind the scenes, Cameron Indoor and barbecue. That's a conversation for a different time. Because you know what? You stay on the line. We'll talk in the break. For the rest of you, Addie Bates produces, Curtis Poindexter runs the board. When we come back, oh, interesting. Idiot of the day. This is the Drake Toll Show.
This is Westwood.
Put on my blue suede shoes and I boarded the plane. Touchdown in the land of the Delta Blues in the middle of the pouring rain. WC hand, won't you down over me? Yeah, I got a first class ticket, but I'm as blue as a boy can be. Then I'm walking in Memphis, just walking with my feet 10 feet off a beam. Walking in Memphis, but do I really feel the way I feel?
It's the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. I would like to think that Mark Cohn really thought he was Bruce Springsteen as he was playing this. I would like to think he continued to tell himself in the mirror, he would break in the studio and go to the bathroom and think, I'm the next Bruce Springsteen. This is going to happen.
Oh,
You don't like the song, do you?
it's so bad.
It's the only song Mark Cohn has ever created. It's the only song he's ever sung. And I have it on good authority that every Mark Cohn concert, which, by the way, dead or alive, Mark Cohn?
Alive?
I think so. I would hope so. I feel like someone would have told me if he was dead.
Yeah, Curtis would have told you.
Gospel in the air. Someone would have told me if Mark Cohn was dead. I have it on good authority at every Mark Cohn concert. He just plays Walking in Memphis for an hour and 49 Memphis.
He's from Cleveland, Ohio.
Glad to see you. It's not. You know, I said this on last week's show. I want to reiterate this after an awesome weekend of watching sports, watching Banana Ball with my friend Jackie Bradley Jr. Mwah. That Memphis is a good city, and I like it, and it's fun. Any objections?
Amazing. No, it's
I
amazing.
like Memphis a lot, man. It gets a bad rap. It doesn't deserve a bad rap. Somebody in the airport on the way there, this country boy, I was like, yeah, I'm going. He was actually from Waco, Robinson, Texas. Lorena, coaches at Midway. And I said, yes, we're headed to Memphis. He's like, oh, man, Memphis is a war zone. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Here we go again.
That is where Curtis the Ayatollah is.
That's where Curtis is accepting his Ayatollah title. Congratulations, Curtis. It's on Union Avenue, on the intersection of Union and Beale Street, which I don't think intersect, by the way. Went to Beale Street. O'Sullivan's, great bar. Went to the restaurants, saw the scenes. Also, great ballpark. The Memphis Redbirds have a great ballpark. Overall, big fan of Memphis. One day I will tell you, I'm not ready to do this yet. One day I'll tell you there are two distinctive cities that are the worst cities we've ever been to. I've seen probably 200 American cities, like spent solid quality time in 150 American cities in the last 3 years. And there are two of them that stand out as the worst.
Can you say one of them? Or the first letter?
Starkville, Mississippi. And I love college towns, man. I am a college guy at heart. I love college sports. Their bars close at 12:30. And also just when
You just sound like an alcoholic.
No, I just would like to go hang out with my friends. Which you can do at your house, but we don't have a house. We're on the road. When's the last time you organically thought about Mississippi State?
Ugh.
Yeah, man. People forget it. You could say, Curtis, name
When Coach
2
Leach died, probably.
Yeah. Coach Leach's death. That was 4 years ago. That's the last time Curtis actually thought about Mississippi State.
Pretty much.
They don't really do much. And the city itself is one of the cities of all time. Quaint college town, just the bar. There was really no bar scene, and I was just confused where the people were. And it's super weird, too, because I did that trip in the middle of a trip to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and Fayetteville, Arkansas. Two places that I adore. I love Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge, really?
Their bars are open 24/7, dog.
Well, yeah. No. That's so funny. Like, my mom, my uncle, like, half of my family went to LSU, and they're all like, Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge is awesome. Fred's, Tiger Town. We'd go
Chimes.
to... Chimes. God, Chimes.
My mom worked there in college.
No way.
She met all sorts of bands like Faith No More, Concrete Blonde. She met.
They're just making up names of bands now, aren't they?
You've never heard of Faith No More? Yes, you have. You've heard Epic. You want it all, but you
No.
can't
The only
have
song
it.
that I know is Walking in Memphis by Mark Cohn. So there's that problem.
Oh, she also met Pantera.
Okay,
You know
I
that?
know Pantera. I can
Okay.
do that. The Chimes. I made it a point to go to the original Canes and the Chimes the first time. So every time I've been to
Amazing.
Baton Rouge, I've gotten better at not being so touristy and traveling and experiencing all the stuff. Put on my blue sweat, and I do like Baton Rouge a lot. There is a casino on the water, and
I love casinos.
I do too. There are two distinct casinos in Baton Rouge. I'm no longer welcomed at one of them. Yeah. To be fair, I wasn't welcome to the first place. Invite only kind of deal, and I didn't adhere to that. That's truly a story for a different time.
You're very problematic.
Yes, correct. This is the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, Westwood One Sports app. It's time for it's time, spit it out, for our idiots of the day.
Idiot of the day.
Stomp and tickle, baby. Idiot of the day number. Is that a new cat? Whose
My
cat is that?
roommate's. My roommate's. She has a lazy eye. You can see it.
What's wrong with that cat, man?
It's not Big Sin. That's what's wrong.
No,
with
that cat needs some help. We need to get that cat like emergency treatment. Cat looks like if you asked a 9-year-old to draw a cat and then made it amorphous.
Got him!
If you gave sentience to a 9-year-old's drawing of a cat, I don't like what's happening. It's also so small. Yeah, the cat does not like what's going on right now.
Said they're berating the cat. That's roommate see cat.
Yeah, I'm not buying that. Yahoo Sports tweets, Auburn head coach Stephen Pearl, who is our first idiot of the day, feels secure in the Tigers' NCAA tournament hopes despite a 16-15 record. Stephen Pearl, I think our resume stands up against anybody's. I have nearly as many wins myself. You and me combined. You, listener of the Drake Toll, me, Drake Toll of the Drake Toll Show, have the same resume as Auburn. Garage Game Day Sports tweets, nobody else in the country has as many quad one losses. Correct. Auburn's claim to fame this year is losing games. In a bracketology update, they're still included. Auburn is still included in the first four out. I don't get why Auburn gets to be in the first four out or Joe Lunardi's last four in, but West Virginia is not. West Virginia finished as the 7th seed in the Big 12, which is the best conference in college basketball. And the 5 seed, Iowa State, might end up being a 2 seed overall. So take that. Listen to what I just told you. The 7 seed in the Big 12, the number 7 overall team in the Big 12, and the number 5 overall team in the Big 12. That 5th team is Iowa State. They're a 2 or a 3 seed in March Madness. West Virginia, they're out of the tournament altogether. How? That doesn't exist. That can't exist. That's not good. We're ruining bracketology's bad this year. We're ruining all of this. Idiot of the day, Nick Saban? Here's what Nick Saban had to say at the White House.
I'm just a football coach. I spent my life when we had the ball trying to get a first down, when they had the ball trying to get off the field on third down. So this is an unlikely position for me to be in to speak to such a distinguished group of people. Thank you. But I come here today with a question. What are the guiding principles for the future of college athletics? All athletics. I'm talking about football, basketball, Olympic sports, revenue, non-revenue, it doesn't matter. You know, my goal as a coach for my players, for our players, was to help them be more successful in life, that we would create an atmosphere and environment that would help them through personal development, academic support, 668 degrees and 17 years at Alabama, and help them develop a career as a football player. That was our goal, so that they were creating value in life and we were preparing them for their future past athletics. So what happened? You know, in this current system that we have, that became impossible to do because people, instead of making decisions about creating value for their future, they were making decisions about how much money could they make at whichever school they could go to or transfer to. So I think we have a challenge here today about the ramifications of this current system on how it helps players be successful in their future and how we can impact and create a system that will help and preserve the opportunity for student athletes to be able to have success in their future beyond athletics.
Enough. I couldn't keep doing it. What are you talking about? Hey, like a little bit more Southern than usual. Good job, Nick. Hey, I just want to open this up by saying I'm just an old ball coach. It's just me over here, Nick Saban, y'all. Just Miss Terry's husband. I'm just an old ball coach. What the hell are you talking about? No, you're not. No one existed in those 17 years. No one existed in the SEC more geared toward winning at all costs. In an era where the SEC, in an era where Alabama, past the era. You know, I talked to Archie Manning. This is a great Archie Manning story. And he said Coach Vaught of Vaught Hemingway Stadium at Ole Miss. You know Archie Manning, grandfather of Arch.
Yeah, he's going to be my future grandfather-in-law.
Oh, grandfather-in-law. I met Archie about a year ago and told me a story about Coach Vaught. Sits down with the GM of the Saints in this big old house on the bayou. And the GM of the Saints says, here's what we're going to do. We're going to draft Archie, and we're going to offer him this much money. And Coach Vaught said, what the hell? We're paying him more than that at Ole Miss. And that has stuck with me for the last year, knowing that there's been money under the table in college football for a long time. And you're telling me Nick Saban's exempt from that? You're telling me Nick Saban's the one good guy that didn't exercise paying players before it was legal? I would like to call your bluff on that. Hey, y'all, I'm Nick Saban here. What a distinct honor to speak in front of so many important people. I'm very nervous. No, you've been doing this for 20 years. You've been on the biggest stages of college football. You've met presidents. You've been to the White House multiple times. Don't play the game of this used to be about education, 680 degrees, and we had an opportunity to get kids smarter, and now it's all about where can I go to make money. There are reasons we need to fix college sports, but to pretend like we put academics at the forefront of this whole thing, that is silly to me. To sit there and pretend like this is the lights are bright, it's a spot you've never been in before. Oh, I'm Nick Saban. I don't really go to the White House. No, you do. Idiot of the day, number 1 is Nick Saban. Idiot of the day, number 2, we stay in the coaching realm. Well, no, number 3. Number 3, because Stephen Pearl was earlier. How about we bring in his daddy? Stephen Pearl's father, Bruce Pearl, said this about Caitlin Clark and Lisa Bluter of Iowa Hawkeyes women's basketball.
Iowa women's basketball, no superstar Caitlin Smith, no Hall of Fame coaches, C. Vivian Stringer, you're right, Caitlin Clark, or Lisa Bunder, but Jan Jensen. They've got these Hawkeyes going into the paint.
All right. Can't wait for that one.
Who the hell let this man have a microphone? Who? You know what? Here's the deal. If you're Dan in Ohio, and I say, Dan, a couple years ago, Iowa women's basketball, he'd go, oh, Caitlin Smith? And I'd say, no, Dan, Caitlin Clark. He's like, oh, Caitlin Clark, my bad. And Dan, who was their coach? Oh, Lisa Blunder. No, Dan. Lisa Bluter. He'd say, oh, my bad. I was close, right? Yeah, you were close. You gave it a good shot. If you're Dan in Ohio, that's fine, man. If you miss Caitlin Clark's last name, I'm not going to berate you. Wow, you disrespect and hate women. The day after International Women's Day, the shortest day of the year. Sorry, Addie, you guys got a tough. You gals got a tough rap on that one. Shortest day of the year is International
I didn't hear
Women's
from
Day.
either one of y'all, by the way. Not a happy International Women's Day.
You got to host the first full hour of the show today for International Women's Day.
Yeah, but I was hoping for that stuffed pigeon I sent y'all a picture of last week.
An homage.
I want the pigeon. The pigeon.
So Bruce Pearl, here's the difference in Dan in Ohio, who loosely follows sports and thought it was Blunder and Caitlin Smith. Bruce Pearl bits me millions of dollars. We pay that man millions of dollars to sit at a desk at CBS. You've heard of those letters. CBS. Caitlin Smith and Lisa Blunder. What the hell are we doing, man? What? Iowa women's basketball has no superstar Caitlin Smith, no Hall of Fame coach, no Lisa Blunder. Okay. Thanks, Bruce Pearl. And our last idiot of the day, Texas A&M. They, I don't even know how to begin this one. A&M tweeted out, projected 13th in the SEC, and we finished tied 4th. Okay. Don't doubt the Aggies. It's like, just don't. Okay. Yeah, well, now we're tied for 4th. Uh-huh. So now what, huh? Don't. What is this stuff, Pigeon?
That's what I wanted for International Women's Day. The pigeon. I sent it. It's playing ping pong.
Pigeon's playing ping pong. Coming up, Maxx Crosby. A historic trade. He's one of the greatest players in NFL history. There's one metric that will tell you why. This is the Drake Toll Show.
One of the
lost, aren't we?
Could be worse.
How could this be worse? This is worse.
Found in a rhythm to the brain.
This is the Drake Toll Show, Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. I want to give some credit to Curtis here for having the courage to even try. I sent it to break there. It's the Drake Toll Show. And they just, one. It's just like it. And we brought it up with our bosses. I don't want it to change. I don't want it to ever change.
He doubled down.
We brought it up to our boss 10 days ago in a meeting that our rejoin, they're real. There's the grunty one. They're all really weird, which I personally am on board with because now, it stands out. People are thinking about it, but we want to point out how odd they are. And in response to that, here is the brand new rejoin that we have.
One of the
what?
Why was it so loud, Curtis?
Why is he screaming?
It was at a normal level, but this thing is so angry.
Curtis, that was not a normal level.
It's probably normal for the world. Sometimes our ears are louder than what the world sees.
I left it at our normal level. That's how loud it is. 'Cause I had to bring it down to play that.
He is just angrily.
one of the
I don't know if we need all that. Like, it is Westwood One, but I like either it's one of two things. Either that's AI, and we just said AI, please have me give me a man yelling Westwood One, or we actually had a human being scream at the top of their lungs.
Curtis, I need a breaking news stinger.
Stinger.
Miami Dolphins announced that they are releasing quarterback Tua. Turn the ball over.
This is the Drake Toll Show.
They're cutting him. I'm being
serious. Oh no! What?
You thought I was joking?
Wow. The Dolphins are cutting Tua?
Like, he's acting surprised.
Oh.
That's what the streets are saying.
Can we Please, let's go to break. I need a second to regroup. I can't. How am I supposed to on the spot?
That's what a breaking news stinger's for.
I never could have imagined they would cut Tua. Well, I don't have anything prepared for it. What are we supposed to say?
Need to go to break?
Like, I mean, okay. I had cereal for breakfast.
No,
Dolphins
you did not.
cut to. I didn't. I haven't eaten breakfast yet. I don't really eat breakfast usually. I almost. It's almost such a non-factor in my life. It is. Have you ever seen the I don't even care if you die, or no, if you died, nothing in my life would change. It's a wild comeback. It's a viral tweet. It's a viral tweet where someone posted a picture of their pizza they made, and the first comment was "looks terrible." To which the original poster responded, "Yeah." To which the original poster responded, "If you died, nothing in my life would change." And obituaries today: Tua Tagovailoa's career with the Dolphins. Yeah, man. Like, yes, this is breaking news and big news and NFL news. But what I need you to understand as the world is you saw this coming. You knew this was going to happen. He has CTE. He struggles a lot with the football thing. And if there's one thing you have to do with the football thing, it's be pretty elite to play in the National Football League. So, yeah, honestly, here's what I'll call it. Tumultuous. Tua's career was tumultuous in Miami. That's the word that I'm going to use. And this is just free agent. This is an opportunity for him to go to New York, play for the Jets. He could go to Minnesota, play for the Vikings. He could go to Arizona and play for the Cardinals, which imagine a trade, but not a real trade, but Kyler Murray to the Dolphins and Tua to the Cardinals. That's a real world we live in. That could happen. But he's got a massive amount of money. Like his contract is going to linger on the books for 2 more years. That's the most important part, okay? If you actually want to know why the news is breaking news and why the news matters and why it's something you should care about, it's because the Dolphins are going to eat $99 million. They're going to eat $99 million in dead cap space. That is the largest figure for a single player in NFL history. The previous record was Russell Wilson with the Denver Broncos. And if you'll remember, he has more bathrooms in his house, 14, than he threw touchdown passes in 2023.
Mr. Unlimited.
Yes. Broncos country, that's right. Broncos country, that's right. It's Russell Wilson. That's who recorded This is the Drake Toll Show rejoins. We have
nothing better to do.
We give me that one? No, the Drake Toll Show one. This is the Drake Toll Show.
This is the Drake Toll Show
Curtis,
on Westwood One Sports. Here's Drake Toll.
It sounds like Russell Wilson.
It's not that high up. You must be blowing your ears out.
It's yeah. You gotta turn yourself down over there.
No, I'm also looking at some of our responses from our listeners.
Okay, I think YouTube and audio are different. That's a moot point. What you need to know when you walk into your office today and your buddy says, "Did you see Tua got cut?" Number one, who cares? And maybe you do. Maybe you cares because you're a Dolphins fan. No head coach. You knew. It's more of a who cares because you saw this coming. You knew this was going to happen. So you tell your buddy. Your buddy said, "Man, I'm shocked. I just thought they'd always ride it out with Tua. I just thought Tua was the guy." You tell him. You say, "I'm not shocked. I saw this coming. I thought this was going to happen." Because you did. That's the truth. And then you tell him that the craziest part, if your buddy's really dumbfounded by this, that the craziest part is that in 2026, he'll cost $67.4 million. And in 2027, he'll cost $31.8 million. You know what this does? Do you know what the largest dead cap hit in NFL history does? It means you're going to suck. It means you are signing up to be bad. It means the Dolphins do not want to win. They cannot win. They are losing money, and they don't really know what to do right now, except blow it all up and start over and hope that in 2028 you can win a couple football. Whatever the Dolphins over-under is on wins next season, take the under. This is the next tank. $99 million. Because that is... Do we have a drum roll? Do we have a drum roll anywhere in there?
Probably.
Like, I'm dumbfounded by the stupidity. That accounts $67.4 million in 2026, which is this year. That accounts for over 32% of the Dolphins' total cap space. They're going to be there's no free agency. There's no go grab that guy. There's no go pay that guy. Their best bet is to get Kyler Murray because he's cheap. Because of his $35 million in his contract, you can pay him the veteran minimum, and Arizona will pay him the rest. So you're hoping to get Kyler Murray, but Kyler's not going to want to go to Miami. He thinks he has leverage. He probably does. He's probably got 2 or 3 teams that are genuinely interested. He might go play for. He can shop his options a bit. The Dolphins aren't one of those. Because they're going to look you in the face and say, we're not going to compete. This news, the weight of this news has nothing to do with the player involved. Has nothing to do with Tua Tagovailoa. The biggest part of this news is the money. It's all about the money, boys. Don't money. I'll take show cards. Whatever you got in the hole. John Goodman. Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou? 2001. Coen Brothers Classic. It's all about the money. Tua can play whatever he wants, can retire, can hang it up. I don't care. I don't care. I'm not the person who needs to see Tua Tagovailoa play in the NFL. It was a fun story. Oh, Mike McDaniel believed in me. He's the first coach who told me he believed in me. And I felt like I had his confidence. And so now I'm going to go out there and play for Mike McDaniel. And that was cute. It was super cute. And it didn't work. It wasn't real. It wasn't real. And looking back, it was all kind of stupid because remember, Tua is the guy that played over Jalen Hurts. They benched Alabama benched Jalen Hurts. Nick Saban benched Super Bowl winning quarterback, franchise quarterback Jalen Hurts in favor of Tua Tagovailoa, and Hurts left Alabama for Oklahoma to play his final year of college football with CeeDee Lamb. Those 2 pretty good players. And no one believes in Tua. No one believed in me. Dog. Nick Saban believed in you. And now because of you, 32% of the Dolphins' cap space for 2026 is gone. It's in the hole. Tanking season has arrived. Mike McDaniel gone, Jeff Hafley in. And this new Jeff Hafley regime, I hope he understands. Jeff, I hope you're listening. I hope you're in Coral Gables right now. I hope you're in Fort Lauderdale. And you got the show turned up. Bradenton. Somewhere in Florida. And I hope that you know, Jeff, I want to tell you, I want you to sit down before I tell you this as you're listening to Westwood One Sports. They hired you to lose. Jeff, I want you to stay seated for a second. Let it sink in. They hired you to lose. John Eric Sullivan, I want you to know you're not supposed to win in Miami. You're not their guy, pal. You're the bridge guy. You're supposed to go in there Antonio Pierce style and lose for a little bit. Gerard Mayo, lose for a little bit, and then we're going to fire you. You'll make money. There's no reason, Jeff, to put in any effort into being the head coach of the Dolphins. Tua benched last year, 15 interceptions, career high. And John Eric Sullivan and company, the Dolphins tried to shop him. Someone, please trade for Tua. We'll take anything. We just don't want to pay it. We don't want to pay $54. He has $54 million fully guaranteed in 2026. $54 million in 2026. No one wanted that. I'm not taking that. Oh, and if I am going to take that, please put a first-round pick in there. Then I might do it, similar to Jared Goff or Matthew Stafford, those trades. But no, the Dolphins wouldn't part with a first-round pick. Great, awesome, thank you. Then we won't take Tua. We'll go get him in free agency. Tua told everybody he wanted a fresh start. He said it would be dope to get a fresh start. And now, man, I don't, if you're the Dolphins, I don't even want you to draft a player. I feel terrible for whoever the Dolphins draft. Yeah, but to the Steelers, to the Jets, who gets Tua? I don't know if I care that much right now. Maybe I'll come to care in the next few days. What I do care about is the poor kid David Bailey who gets drafted by the Dolphins. It's whoever gets drafted by the Dolphins, you're getting paid. We're telling you right now, we're looking you in the eyes. We're going to fire Jeff Hafley in a couple of years, in probably a year and a half. And you, yes, you, first-round draft pick, get ready to learn losing. We're not in the spot of the rebuild. Like New England was in the spot of the rebuild. Flip the switch, turn it on. Now let's compete. Miami is at least 3 years away from even thinking about winning. Not from winning, from even thinking about winning. What a disaster. What a disaster. But at least there's 11. That's a club. Or Eclipse. Also a club. At least you have those in Miami. What a S show. Just makes me mad. I'm not a Dolphins fan. I have no rooting interest for the Dolphins. I get mad at bad business. I get mad at bad moves. I get mad at people who are, oh yeah, we can do this. We can play GM. We can play owner. We can play. No. It leads to this. It all comes tumbling down. See you, Tua. When we return. Maxx Crosby. The AFC North just got some really, really bad news. And I have one last obituary. And then we'll do Music Monday. This is the Drake Toll Show.
One of the offseason's biggest.
Go on trial just for laughing at the joke, just for saying of the bargain what any sales girl already knows. Most of us old men die at the firing line, just waiting for our number to be called. I guess time just makes fools of us all. Now the king gets his stepson when he's loaded as a gun. Says a real man is like a country. You need a map to find your one. Now I do you suppose you must approach the throne with its back up against the wall. I guess time just makes fools of us all. Minds of my generation gladly conscripted in the war of defending any Goliath that would deign darken the door. Now with your genius for picking battles, it's no wonder every helmet is too small. I guess time just makes fools of us all. I guess time just makes fools of us all. My drink is watered down. The champ is on his knees. He lost the rematch. He lost the comeback. He lost for charity. But that's the job. It's what gets the asses in the hall. They came for a beating. And he came to brawl. Go and serve your client notice that of all the young gods I have known, yours is easily the least famous to turn down the cover of a Rolling Stone. Lily white faces, so familiar and yet impossible to recall. I guess time just makes fools of us all. After a millennia of good times, God said, hey now, let's have a dream where we raise the stakes a little. Come on, let's make things interesting. Parachute into the Anthropocene, an amnesiac, a himbo Kendall. I guess time does make fools of us all.
Smell that?
Jordan bells, Jordan bells,
Smells like getting paid. This is the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. Addie Bates produces. Good morning to the world. Will you stop with the damn pigeons? What's going on here?
Chat. I was trying to find ones that are affordable for the chat.
What are you grifting about right now?
We have a YouTube chat, Drake Toll. Did you know that?
Yeah. Can you please take your microphone and pick it up? Yep. Way better. Thank you.
It's actually not.
Yeah, true. We gotta figure that out.
I've been told it's my environment.
Yep. It's your very loud environment that you're in.
So, but I've tried to.
That's the weird thing, though, is that my microphone doesn't have the weird staticky thing. Yours has the weird,
Yeah, I mean, this is not my personal microphone.
Yeah. I don't use I only use my personal when I'm at home, though. I'm on the road a lot. So.
Do you want to buy me a new
Addie
one?
a microphone also?
Yeah. A microphone, order of things I need. Pigeon, microphone, and the little in-the-ear things that Drake has because he doesn't like my headphones.
Just because yesterday was International Women's Day and only 23 hours. Again, wild that International Women's Day we cut short by an hour. Whoops.
Fun-sized.
Just because yesterday was International Women's Day does not mean you, the listener, must begin to buy Addie things. She won't even let you follow her on Instagram.
If that's what it takes, I'll make myself public on Instagram. I'm just scared of that.
You're saying you'll do whatever it takes?
Yeah, like Fernando Mendoza.
Take, shots from the front and the back, whatever it is.
I won't do that.
Fernando Mendoza, man. Maxx Crosby is now a Baltimore Raven. 69.5 career sacks. Nice. That pales in comparison to TJ Watt, 115. It also pales in comparison to the man who has 125.5 and broke the record for sacks in a single season, Myles Garrett, this year. But now in the AFC North, you had a Maxx Crosby who since 2019 has 360 pressures. That's 29 more than the closest player, Myles Garrett. Again, Garrett since 2019. Crosby will get to those numbers. He'll be a 100-plus sack guy. He'll be up there with the Garretts and the Watts of the world. He already is. From a talent standpoint, I'm saying from a career standpoint, he'll be up there. 115 sacks for TJ Watt. 125.5 for Myles Garrett. 69.5 for Maxx Crosby. And then there's Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, who's been sacked 213 times in his career. Get ready to learn the ground, buddy. You're going to be spending a lot of time there if your name is Joe Burrow in that division. Maxx Crosby moving to that division elevates. Rising tide lifts all boats. And this is one of the more aggressive moves that the Ravens have ever made. They're not a very aggressive franchise. John Harbaugh is the coach. Joe Flacco is the quarterback. Lamar is the quarterback. But now they want to be aggressive. Fire the coach. Oh. Go get Maxx Crosby. Give them a couple of first-round picks. Did you know in NFL history, only a handful of players have been worth 2 first-round picks in the same trade? Maxx Crosby is one of them. Listen to I'll give you the list of names. Sauce Gardner, Micah Parsons. These are elite names. Russell Wilson. That one's debatable. I don't think we should have ever traded, and by we, I mean the world. No one should trade 2 first-round picks for Russell Wilson, but whatever. Matthew Stafford, Laramie Tunsil, Jamal Adams, Khalil Mack, Jalen Ramsey, Jay Cutler. You'll notice a lot of these names are pretty modern. This wasn't a very popular thing to do back when we were smart and had brains. Jalen Ramsey, Jay Cutler, Ricky Williams, Keyshawn Johnson, Jeff George, Eric Dickerson, Herschel Walker. Whatever happened to Herschel Walker? Where is he now? Those guys have all been traded for, and their former teams got 2 first-round picks in exchange. That's incredibly win now. Incredibly aggressive. You just gave a 2027 first-round pick up. Ooh. It is officially the Super Bowl or bust window in Baltimore. They were a team that could not rush the passer in 2025, 30th in the league with 30 sacks. And their team leader with 4.5. And now, Crosby, one of the best edge defenders against the run, a guy who leads the NFL in tackles for loss over the last couple of years, a guy who can sack the quarterback, pressure on the quarterback. That dude goes to a contender who can win the Super Bowl this year. And as for the Raiders, they have 4 first-round picks the next 2 years. Fernando Mendoza is their starting quarterback, the Heisman winner. And Crosby was set to carry a $31 million cap hit in 2026. Now the Raiders can clear that. They can go get Tyler Linderbaum. They can go get some elite talent out of the transfer portal? Yeah, close enough. Out of free agency. Might as well be the transfer portal at this point. Oh, And reportedly, Tom Brady influenced the trade by ensuring that Crosby didn't land with the New England Patriots. That's awesome, man. Remember, Brady had no rooting interest in the Super Bowl. Doesn't care if his former franchise wins at all. Maxx Crosby is a Baltimore Raven. And now that team is the Super Bowl window's here. It's a tight window. You better start winning now, buddy. You better start winning now, Jesse Minter. Get Minter up and moving. Addy Bates produces. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. Time for Music Monday. Top 5 music in all of sports. What's song number 1, Addy?
Here you go, Curtis.
Young teacher, the subject of schoolgirl fantasy.
Okay. I want my MTV.
Well, that's money for nothing.
But you know what Money for Nothing was, what that melody is after?
Well, do you know who the backup singer in Money for Nothing is?
Yes, the guy who sings that song.
Yeah.
Okay, that's song number 1.
I'm happy. I'm feeling glad I got sunshine in a bag.
I'm going to shoot you straight. That is somehow simultaneously the worst 5 seconds of a song I've ever heard in my life. But I actually really dig it, and I would like to download that to my Spotify. Can I hear that again, please?
I'm happy. I'm feeling glad I got sunshine in a bag.
That's what Jack White sounds like when if he did really hard drugs. Okay. Third song, please.
Left a good job in the city.
Next song.
There's too many of you.
Okay. What's the last song?
Please kiss me. Kiss me.
Oh, no. Okay, can I hear song number 1 again, please?
Young teacher, the subject of schoolgirl fantasy.
I want my MTV. Don't Stand So Close to Me. The Police.
Ding, ding, ding. Correct.
Good. Okay, song number 2.
I'm happy. I'm feeling glad I got sunshine in a bag.
Jack White. Drunk Jack White.
Love of My Life, Damon Albarn, lead singer. Gorillaz, song, Clint Eastwood.
Funky.
Whoa, those were a lot of words. Song 3, please.
Left a good job in the city.
Tina and Ike Turner. Rolling on the River.
Proud Mary.
Proud Mary. Okay. Ugh, semantics. Song 4.
There's too many of you.
Nope. Who is it?
What? Sorry, that's one of the greatest songs ever. Marvin Gaye, What's Going On?
Oh. Okay. Sorry, I missed that.
Okay.
Last song.
Please kiss me. Kiss me out of
90s legend. Name her.
That's Jeff Buckley, Last Goodbye.
Oh, okay. Great. That's Addy Bates. She produces. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. Tomorrow, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., the Drake Toll Show. 6 to 9 a.m., the Addy Bates Show. We'll see you right here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Thanks for listening. Nick Costos, this is the Drake Toll Show.
This is Westwood One Sports.